Yeah, it's going to be a banger. You know, anything can happen at these like lower brackets. Obviously, if you lose in this match, then you're out. So this is Team Hypnos that we're having a look at here. You know, it's always interesting seeing, you know, coming back. You know, I only am able to come back and cast, you know, once a stage really right these days. So there's always so many moving pieces. There's so many players moving between teams. So it's cool to see, you know, teams consistently at least get some form of, I guess, I don't know, history within the game. And then now you're Hypnos going up against SRPeakCheck, and you have the LH Cloudy Reinhardt who's going to be running you down. Like, how do you solve said problem?
Maybe go Orisa. I don't know. Like, you know what's coming.
Play not Reinhardt.
Right? Yeah, I mean, pretty good against the Rhino or the Ram or something. Yeah, his SRPeakCheck, of course, and a lot of people that on the roster that people recognize. Danit has been around for a long time at this point. Fi, Cloudy, Ghost as well, an exceptional bat player. But you know, you load in and you're like, okay, so what's going to happen? Oh yeah, they're just going to try and run at us with big Reinhardt. Use your shield this time as well, Cloudy, and maybe kind of destroy us. I mean, Rush is pretty good right now with Juno, so, you know, I think this is probably the best opportunity for the team to do extremely well. Obviously, they're 0-1 right now.
I'm just happy that Cloudy's going to be in the game, which probably means that we will probably see a little bit of Ryan. You know, I don't think it's been 100%. Some time since we last saw. I think we saw a little bit last week, but, you know, maybe this one.
It's just not that good.
Jack,
you're not good.
Okay, the game.
You're not good.
Yeah, get him, Danny.
Okay, chill, bro. Jeez.
Hey, our viewers on my side as well. We got SRPeakCheck 67% versus Hypnos 33. I think this is reasonable, right? I mean, SRPeakCheck, of course, they have their own style, but they do have, I think, more well-known names, right, in their roster. I think, nonetheless, I think it's going to be a definitely interesting match for this one.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's been a while since I've casted Cloudy. It's going to be a good time, but will the meta actually favor their comp? That is the question as we jump into the game in just a moment.
Yep. And I mean, yeah, guys.
I know you want to see Ram. I mean, Reinhardt. But I'm afraid for you now.
Ryan, I don't care. I think as long as we get a good match, I think I'll be happy. With that being said, everybody, it's time to get into the action. Jack and Scott, take it away.
Thank you very much. Yes, we will see Ryan, Danny. Don't worry.
There will be a Ryan. That is almost guaranteed. But as you were just saying, Jack, like we've seen, even like Orisa's been gaining a lot of prominence just recently, like in a lot of different regions. It's just difficult to play Reinhardt because you're either in it or you're out of it, right? And you're going back to spawn, and that's something that Cloudy specializes in. You know, not going back to spawn, but like getting in there. I was
gonna say, whoa,
getting in there
instantly, bro.
Staying aggressive, and you know. It's obviously a difficult matchup for Reinhardt, playing against the Orisa, playing against the Ramacho, but hey, if anyone's going to be able to pull it off, it's going to be Cloudy, and here's the map pool as we have right now. Quick reminder, Clash and Flash coming through. They're combined in terms of their map pools, so once one of those are chosen, you won't be able to see the rest, but I'm excited to see this match because, you know, Reinhardt is one of those characters that I think you always think you know how to play against it until LH Cloudy is running you down, and then it feels like it's just like impossible to play against. And with Juno just being such a strong pick right now, anything's possible.
I mean, Juno is pretty broken. Let's be real. Like, they're almost 100% win rate. It felt like across, not win rate, sorry, but 100% play rate across all regions at this moment in time. Like, the pick is just too good. Speed ring is perfect for Ryan. You know, even the hammer swings in the orbital ray, you know, that does a lot of damage. It's perfect, I think. It's a lot of damage. Even a lot of teams picking up Genji as well, especially over in Korea. We've seen proper Heesang pick up Genji because the blade in Ray is pretty much a one-shot. Like, you don't have a chance to react. Like, you're going to instantly die. We're going to come over to Command Center here, or Control Center, sorry, as Lijiang Tower is the first map, and it's picked by SRPeakCheck.
It doesn't surprise me. This is a pretty quintessential Reinhardt map throughout the history of Overwatch. You're able to close that distance, and Hypnos looks like the answer that they're thinking about coming out with is the Ramatra. There's always so much back and forth of who wins in the Reinhardt-Ramatra matchup. It goes back and forth depending on the balance, but overall, I would say Ramatra, I feel a lot more comfortable going into this matchup playing the Ramatra.
Yeah, I mean, 1,000%. Kind of take that. I mean, the thing is, Scott, Ram can do two things at once.
Okay, that's great.
And he can shoot. Reinhardt can only do one. He can swing or he can shield.
Yeah, but Ramatra can't pin at you at 1,000,000 miles an hour.
That is... Okay, yeah, that's kind of true, actually.
Yeah, true.
That is true. and he doesn't have a big hammer that he can hit the floor with and then kill people with. So, yeah. I kind of get it.
Yeah,
Nice
sure.
pin. Oh, speaking of which, well, Lars is dead already. Good pin. Good damage on top of that as well from SRPeakCheck, and there goes your thank Hypnos. What are you going to do now?
It's GG go next round. You know, didn't want that one to begin with.
Next round. One fight Andy over here.
Yeah, I don't want. Don't even leave spawn again. I've seen enough. So it'll be interesting to see how they're going to fight into it. You saw Hypnos, they wanted to try and get some point pressure, but with they just doing so much damage on the Junkrat from the side, it's going to be difficult. They're trying to play around this Sparrow, just shooting from the long distance, but SRPeakCheck aren't trying to set that up. And he doesn't get any value though.
Oh, yeah, but Bones goes down though to Ghost. There's a joke in there somewhere. 21% of building for SRPeakCheck. Pretty hard to run over the Ram though, especially when he's in that Nemesis form. Oh, what a CP though. Hello. Didn't expect Cloudy to appear out of absolutely nowhere. And Fly ends up picking up the Ash kill as well. The little satchel being thrown from a downtown. They're still in this fight, but kind of. I mean, both dead again. Turned into a literal Ghost by Ghost. That's a second time in a row. The map's got a kill. And speaking of which, Ghost picks up yet another one. It's SRPeakCheck. They're kind of destroying Hypnos right now. Like, Hypnos, they've got maybe one kill.
Yeah, and it's just the classic where you lose one pick due to some like random ass spam or anything like that, and then the rest of the team for Hypnos is staggering. So they haven't even really had like a very fair or balanced fight throughout all of this. And now SRPeakCheck, they have the ultimates up. You talked about the orbital ray, how much damage comes out of that, plus the amplification matrix from the Baptiste. Like, this is going to be so difficult for Hypnos to get onto the point and Lars to stay alive.
All right, we'll see where Cloudy puts himself. Looks like he's going to be on the bigger health back on the high ground for at least the time being. Fi has already found one kill. I mean, Malusu, did you survive against the Junkrat dive bombing your backline? Yes, I mean, if you got a speed ring, but not if it's Fi with the Junkrat. Bones is also dead. And yeah, these staggers are pretty bad. Fighters end up going down. Cloudy more than happy to fight in these orbital rays. Annihilation's going to hit, but that wall is going to separate a lot of the healing coming through on to Lars, but it does not matter apparently. Annihilation damage enough to bring it down at Dan. Finally, Hypnos was popping a couple of ultimates in that fight, end up winning it out. And yeah, well, guess what Cloudy's got? He's got a Shatter. Fi's got Tire. It's going to be a tough fight for Hypnos to deal with.
Yeah, it costs Volta and Lars both of their ultimates. The Annihilation Orbital Ray is just too much damage to fight into. But oh, look at this. Just waiting for it. Looking for the Pharah potentially on the Junkrat.
Bones, you got to pay attention, buddy. Bones was not looking at the junk. Okay, we're all good though. Fi doesn't get the one tap. So a quick reset there for Bones on high ground.
This is so difficult for Lars to try and stay alive. You only have one shield, you're going up against the Earth Shatter. You know that Cloudy's just going to be looking for it. Almost happy to solo shatter Lars if he gets the opportunity.
Yeah, Nano Boost available too. Hypnos have a way out of this fight if any one member gets shattered. Here comes the Tire. Oh, straight through the TP! Fi gets a triple through the TP and the Shatter to top it all off. I think, luckily, I guess, for Hypnos, they got the Nano off on Lars, but he's quickly brought down. Bones just end up killing LH Cloudy, but I think that's about it. That's a backbreaker. Got if I ever didn't see one. Riptide through the TP. So it feels like a profit evolved.
Yep.
We'll see if Hypnos can come back into this. They are touching. OT is triggered.
And there's not a lot of damage here on the point, so you can see Volts is able to just bounce back and forth from this point, having almost no issues. So it should be somewhat of a balance. Volta eventually falls the barrage.
Good barrage, but no, it's not enough. Lamp from Ghost. Everybody was 1 HP. That lamp just needed to be destroyed. And here comes the orbital ray. SRPeakCheck. Oh, the back of Fi there. End up taking that first round.
And honestly, that entire round was just Darned's Symmetra teleporters, just outplaying and outmaneuvering Team Hypnos, right? Like, how many times did we see every moment they tried to rotate or get on that outside section, LH Cloudy is meeting them right there with the Symmetra teleporter. We got the Junkrat tires going through them. It's so difficult to play into a well-organized and coordinated team that plays around the Symmetra teleporters. And now we get to see this. Oh, that's filthy.
Instant explosion too. Just boom, popped it straight away. Because they're all kind of shooting at the teleporter at that point, right? It's just like, okay, we don't want Cloudy to get on top of us, but it was the tire that you have to watch out for in the end.
Even worse.
Yeah, exactly. Something that can instantly kill you. All right, SRPeakCheck rolling out with the same old thing. No surprise here. I mean, Hypnos, you know, they've got a plan, Scott. I mean, the Pharah is pretty good into this comp. It's just Ghost apparently just too strong for Bones to stay alive more than like 10 seconds in a fight.
Well, SRPeakCheck are just finding early picks into these fights that then makes Hypnos unable to really fight into it. When they're playing the Pharah, when they're playing the Ashe, they're just trying to play high damage, poke composition, and trying to eventually find picks, but they're the ones getting picked so far, and now you're going to see the point open up, and Team Hypnos is not going to really be able to fight for this because it's just too much damage and they're unable to find the pick. So Flip does go over to SRPeakCheck to start. So now the timer starts. How long is it going to take Hypnos to break this and start finding some picks?
Well, they've already managed to spot Bones out on the left-hand side, and yeah, okay. Both the Juno and the Baptiste pretty decent at dealing with the Pharah on the flank, and she's not getting too much support either. Feels like you need to kind of send a support their way as well to make sure they can stay alive. Just too much spam damage, even without hit scan DPS.
And they're putting so much damage into Cloudy, but Cloudy has a Juno and a Baptiste keeping him alive. That's so much healing. If they need to, they can drop a lamp. There's almost no way they're going to be able to get through LH Cloudy. So he's just playing bouncer right now at these two front doors of like, hey, if you try and come through here, you're going to have to go through me, but they can't get through him.
You see Ghost just perma looking at Bones. I mean, Bones is close to a barrage, I suppose. Window available from Ghost as well. Same with that orbital ray. So SRPeakCheck in a pretty good spot here to defend this point. Look how slowly Hypnos are moving, Scott. Finally getting their support ultimates online. Bones is super low. Ends up getting saved, luckily, by Volta. And here comes the raise. Dan had already dead, but Lars already falling in the front lines. It's not a good start. And again, Bones unable really to get an off angle, thanks to the damage coming through from the SRPeakCheck supports.
Yeah, and Cloudy, his job here is done. He just stood there with his shield, just trying to block all the rest of the damage, and eventually all the damage coming out from the back line of SRPeakCheck, they're just able to find the picks, and now 80% and counting. There hasn't even really been an opportunity for Hypnos to use any of their ultimates, but now they have 5 in the bank heading into this one. Oh, not again.
Not again, please. Uh-oh, yeah, Bones. Okay, Bones found the Junkrat, but it instantly died to Tyre. Oh dear. Well, there's an annihilation and a nano boost on top. Lars going to be pretty hardy on at that point, and even that Ray being placed as well by Hypnos. Also staying alive too is going to help keep Lars alive and well, but the problem is Cloudy, Cloudy. He's safe first at this point, just playing Ryan. I mean, good luck getting him off the point. Yeah, Lars instantly falls, and Scott, I think that just might be it. SRPeakCheck looking pretty low right now, but their hopes pretty high at winning this series. A 2-0, an extremely clean control as they take the first map.
Yeah, very convincing play by SRPeakCheck. As we said, quintessential Reinhardt map. They know exactly how to play it. They knew exactly their spots. They got to them, and as soon as they got there, Hypnos almost had no opportunity to break it. I like the idea of the Pharah from Bones, but it just didn't feel like he had any opportunity to shoot rockets, and he was the one who was getting picked from the amount of damage coming out.
That's the person you look to as well to try and disrupt the backline, punish the shield, punish the fact that you got no hit scan. Well, on the DPS slot anyway, because, you know, the Juno and the Bat were perma looking. I mean, Ghost half the time wasn't even healing the rest of his team. It was like, okay, I'm just going to stand on an off angle. You try and come to me. I shoot you. You have to back off, or I shoot you. You die. It's a real rough look for Hypnos right now. A little 2-0 from SRPeakCheck. I mean, now I guess for Hypnos, you get to choose a map, right? You get to go to any game mode as well, so you're probably going to want go to one where Ryan isn't as good. But then, Scott, I'm going to be honest, even with the sim play right now, I think any map is good for Ryan if your sim's good enough.
Yeah, I'm thinking like, oh, let's go somewhere with high ground where Reinhardt doesn't really shine. But then if they're, oh, that was a great shot. But if you're going to just have the Reinhardt being TP'd on the high ground and tires coming through them every now and then as well, it's just going to be so difficult to fight into. And that's what makes SRPeakCheck such a terrifying team to play against, because, you know, very few teams have the coordination ability to play it at this level. And now you add Juno into the mix. This allows Ghost to be able to spend more time just like doing damage as the Baptiste, right? The Juno can focus the healing onto the Reinhardt, can do the speed ring. In the past, when you're playing Lucio with it, Lucio can't heal your tank that effectively, but Juno does a phenomenal job at that. So Baptiste Juno is proven to be a very deadly combination in this brawl and has way more damage than it's ever had in the past.
It's just so much healing from the Juno too, and with the BAP as well. BAP obviously pretty well known for the amount of healing you can do to a tank, like an AoE healing at that as well. Adding Juno on top, it feels like healer meta in that way. Like, it's not utility supports, like you're relying on Arnade, sleeps and stuff, it's all about just like raw healing and then just keeping Cloudy alive in the front line, which you do need to do quite often because the Rhine pretty susceptible to a lot of tank picks in the current meta. Rush is pretty good, Orisa's pretty good, but Cloudy says, I don't care. I got supports. We're all good.
Hey, who would win, you know?
Okay.
All these meta picks or one 9-year veteran of the sport playing Reinhardt who knows every little nook and cranny and every little bit of value to get out, right? Like, we've seen it time and time again, you know, these players who, you know, play Reinhardt throughout the history of time. It doesn't feel like it should work, but it works more often than you would like. And the biggest thing if you're Hypnos is it works until it doesn't, right? Like if you're Hypnos, you just need to find your solution to dealing with it and find a way to make Cloudy feel uncomfortable because Cloudy's probably not going to be swapped. Let's be honest. Every time you see Cloudy swapped, you know it's going downhill from there. So they just need to find something that's going to work better than what we saw on Lijiang Tower.
Yeah, and then going to a map, like you mentioned, that even has high ground, it's pretty hard because Dana can just TP you around. It's it feels good when Cloudy's in the server and we can see a lot of Reinhardt because we don't really see Reinhardt too much anymore. Like the character, it does feel a little bit like old Overwatch in a way compared to a lot of the utility and how much, well, damage and like CC and sustain and just everything that a lot of the like updated Orisa RAM, for example, has. Let's have a look at the map pool. Scott, hybrid, clash, slash, flashpoint, push, and escort. Where would you want to go if you were Hypnos right now?
Oh, that's always an interesting one. Like, as I said, high grounds is always going to be a nice option. So do you start looking at Watchpoint Gibraltar? Reinhardt can be pretty difficult to play, but we've seen it work in the past. Like, I think if I'm Hypnos, I want to avoid, you know, clash and flash. I think that's where Reinhardt's going to thrive, very similar to the way Control does. So I'm looking to go towards an escort or a hybrid and just play something that I'm comfortable with that I know might be more difficult for the Reinhardt to get value in. Maybe like a Blizzard world as well, very open, difficult to close distance. So there are definitely options here for Hypnos, and they are actually going to go over to the Blizzard world.
Okay. I was thinking maybe, yeah, Watchpoint a Gibraltar angle for the Rhine. Like, look, hey, we can hold high ground, we can also play dive as well, but yeah, when you got a bit of a...
surprisingly good on Gibraltar. I think that's the reason because Reinhardt can hold doors like very well, right? And if you use the teleporters correctly, like the Reinhardt can actually get into some pretty dominant positions. So I actually like this decision of going over to Blizzard World by Hypnos.
Okay. Well, we'll see if we see any changes up from SRPeakCheck as well. Obviously not in the Rhine slot. It's not a tank slot anymore, it's the Rhine slot.
Yeah.
And Hypnos, what they have to kind of do, because I really do think Orisa especially, incredibly strong right now. We're seeing it a lot in Korea. It's been creeping back in. We've seen kind of the evolution of this meta. First, a lot of people are playing Queen and just kind of rush and just get in your face, kind of brawl style. And then, okay, a little bit of Ram here and there. And then slowly, as most metas do, it just dissolves into Orisa. Because Orisa is normally the safest pick out.
Hide from it. Orisa comes.
Exactly. It's going. Every single meta, I feel like this happens. Because Orisa just turns out to be the safest of all picks. If you don't want to get the PS1 Crows. If you don't want to get counterpicked, don't they look like PS1? Like
they do very low. Yeah, they look like they should be in like Tomb Raider PS1.
I love it. Right in front of Snack Travis. It does feel like every meta kind of devolves into Orisa because Orisa is just kind of the safest pick out of all the tanks that can't get counter swapped as easily, and the quote unquote counter swap is just I'm gonna go Orisa as well. That we just mirror. So I think SRPeakCheck will struggle against it if Hypnos can actually get it popping on the Orisa. However, right now they're hovering the monkey.
What's up? And I don't hate the Winston pick. You know, make it as difficult for Cloudy to find anyone to get on top of and just sort of like make him react. Because what was happening with Lars in the last setup is that Lars is playing Ramattra but can't get through Cloudy. So at least the Winston potentially gives them an opportunity to dive past it. You can sync up with Bones, maybe set up a really good dive because Baptiste and Juno aren't great healers to support each other, right? Obviously Juno's not bad for Baptiste, but trying to land a heal onto the Juno as a Baptiste can be very difficult. They're going to have to play close together. So a well-coordinated dive could break this setup from SRPeakCheck.
Flying the Tracer now. No more Junkrat, sadly. You Junkrat enthusiasts out there. You see Bones POV and you see Hardy, Cloudy. Man,
You're stuck with
just
this
determined to. I'm so Hardy built. I don't know. Yeah. All right, Larson. A quick rotation here onto the high ground is going to be really nice. But like you were mentioning before as well, I mean, Reinhardt in general just very good at holding these doorways, but just holding the point as well. Like, Lars can't really contest for too long. Bubble only lasts for a little bit, and like there's so many things kind of shooting him, and the sim being quite a pain to deal with as well. The execution of the like onto the backline is going to be so hard for Hypnos to actually do, especially since TP as well is just so readily available to Danet.
And you can see they're just more than happy to sit here, waiting for things to happen. Cloudy just dancing on this point. You can see Lars trying to take space, but every time he steps up, Bubble instantly disappears.
Just too much damage.
Takes too much damage. He should stay alive here, but that's just more time off the clock for SRPeakCheck. And as they start to get their support ultimates up, if they get the orbital ray, it's going to be so difficult for Hypnos to set up any form of dive. As soon as anyone goes in, they're going to drop the orbital ray. The healing and the damage is going to be too much for them to deal with. As Lars goes in again, but gets a little too deep.
Yeah, way too deep. Oh, 1 HP, manages to survive. He actually in a decent spot, but a pulse bomb will finish off the Winston eventually. And that's it, Scott. I mean, SRPeakCheck, their supports, all they need to do is just stand and choke.
Yeah.
And then Winston jumps in, the bubble is placed down, and the bubble dies. And then Winston has to get out. And then it's just rinse and repeat over and over again. And even Cloudy, what a word. Cloudy even coming up to an ultimate here. Shatter coming up, they got double support ultimate as well. They're gonna have this wall. These fights are taking so long. They've only got 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, and Lars doesn't even have the Primal Rage yet to give him the confidence to be able to step in. Uses the Nano Boost instead, but in the Orbital Ray, that's just not going to matter at all. He's so low. Does get the Primal.
There's the Primal, okay. Ping coming in through from Cloudy. Doesn't end up using that Shatter either. Tick's been given over for Hypnos, and now he's going to step up. Wall being deployed, same with that Bob, and Bob in the Orbital Ray is a deadly, deadly thing, but it's actually Lars going down to a turret. Cloudy being a little bit more defensive there, was pretty low, but managed to take care of the Bob, the rest of the team, and even that Pulse Bomb kill from Bones is going to be quite good enough to get that third and final tick for Hypnos.
And from bad to worse, that was all 5 ultimates from Hypnos to just try and claw their way into this fight, but you can just see how much sustain this backline of SRPeakCheck has. They kept themselves alive for so long through absolutely everything. Didn't have to use the Shatter. They still have the window. Now if you're Lars, how do you do anything without getting instantly blown up, instantly shattered? This is going to be so difficult for them to close out this first point of Blizzard World.
Yeah, they got window, Shatter, they got Pulse Bomb as well. They know Hypnos have nothing. Cloudy can just hold this corner. It's like a slow, inevitable demise, I think. Slowly but surely. The passage of time eating away at our flesh. Like, eventually.
It ain't that serious. Good pin.
Good pin, yeah. Better Shatter as well. All right, 25 seconds to go. Hypnos. They've lost 2 already. They need to reset. SRPeakCheck know it as well. Cloudy going to pin in, and that's going to be a very late kill on to the Ana. Oh, you get 1. All right, you trade. Okay, Lars back on the ball to touch.
Ghost is still holding onto this window. This is going to be so difficult. He's just going to drop this window as soon as we see Lars step up on this Wrecking Ball. That full HP is not going to be very full for very long.
Fully charged beam as well from Danet. Haven't even deployed the window yet. Oh, a window pick coming through. A big pick actually onto the back lines. Both DPS end up picking up kills. Hypnos up 2 now. As they are continuing to touch, so over time, perma triggered. The summer's going to be quite annoying for Lars to kind of deal with, but a manual hack doesn't last too long anymore. Matriera as well on the Widowmaker is going to be completely like isolated in the backline with no one really from SRPeakCheck to touch them. And by some miracle, Hypnos managed to cap the first point.
Yeah, miracle indeed. Just a couple of things didn't go SRPeakCheck's way. They lose V at the last second when trying to close out that Ana stagger, and then you see the Widow. Great pick here from Matriera, coming back on the Widow, finds the Juno. All of a sudden the sustainability isn't there, so they find a window, a saving grace. They've gotten the first point capture, but only 2 minutes to get through the second point. Need more magic from the Widow, but they're all in the backline already. Where do you go?
Matriera was like, wait, where'd they all go? And they spotted the teleport. Ah, okay, they made a grand rotation. Done it in a little bit of trouble, but quickly deploys the wall, and SRPeakCheck, Scott. I love this play, holding super far up towards this choke point. If they take care of this, I mean, Hypnos are going to have a very tough time of breaking this hold again. Danet takes on the Widow with a turret. Lars finished up by Cloudy, who appeared out of absolutely nowhere. And SRPeakCheck, now they're back to the choke point hold.
And it's going to be so difficult to play the Widowmaker here. It does go back to the Ashe. is the Ashe really, do you think the Ashe is going to find value here, Jack? I think it's going to be very difficult to find an opportunity to shoot and actually find value with the damage, because as soon as you step up as Ashe, you're going to have Cloudy pinning at you, or you're going to have a TP in your face exactly like that.
Taking a witch through the nade, locked into the animation, so couldn't actually get that sleep dart off. They do end up trading supports, but Lars is so low, just hounded down by 5.
Bones?
Shouldn't be a guaranteed kill, though, for the Tracer, as Bones, again, opens this up with another kill. Cloudy does end up laying down the shadow, but he is too low to finish anybody off. And by the skin of their teeth again, Hypnos, they've managed to break the choke point hold, but now only have 40 seconds to get to the second point.
Yeah, we didn't see it on our screen, but Bones somehow finding a way to take down both backliners pretty much himself. Great stick on the Ghost to close that one out. So now they're going to have the bot moving, but going into final fight territory, they only have the support ultimates to fight with. Early shatter onto the ball.
There's the nano boost. And here comes the orbital ray as well from LP. SRPeakCheck in good spot. Oh, a Hail Mary pulse bomb. Ends up going wide from 5. As Ghost and LP end up going down. SRPeakCheck without supports now. And Hypnos, once again, nearing OT. Managed to cap this second point. I think a lot more than they could really have hoped for, Scott. I'm going to be honest, considering how that first point went. There it is, 1:30 added to the clock.
Making it work, honestly. Phenomenal play. Like, it's not, I'm not going to say pretty, but it's just like the game is so chaotic, and that's almost how you have to play against these Symmetra setups, because if you try and play as a team and you're just trying to take it head on, it can be really difficult. So Lars on the Wrecking Ball creating a huge distraction, giving Bones a little bit more space. Now the Ashe is getting some damage to shoot. They've only won 2 team fights, but that's all they need to win.
Right. Wouldn't it be phenomenal, actually, Scott, thinking about it? SRPeakCheck versus Team Falcons in Stockholm.
That's true. That's true. Maybe that's the kryptonite of the Asian region is, you know, the SRPeakCheck Cloudy Reinhardt.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Bob's been deployed. Joins the fight. Almost quickly exits there as Cloudy gets the pin kill. There we go. All right, Ghost also takes out Bones. Again, they're in a good spot. Hypnos, more than happy to fight in OT. And Cloudy, more than happy to fight in your spawn. As he pins straight towards it. And they kill Volta. 20 seconds to go. Again, they're going to do this in OT.
Hey, OT's where they're at their best, honestly, so far. We got Lars with the mines. Potentially might find them an opportunity to get into this fight, but he's so low as soon as he peeks his head. Well, I guess his ball.
His ball. Yeah, just a ball. I guess the Hammond's little head does pop out every now and then. All right, mine's still available. Cloudy playing super far up. Mine's on the point, in fact. Okay, so not like an isolation kill on the backline. Just want to buy some space on the point. And a boost onto the high ground. LP just gets flattened. Turned into some minced beef there. Hypnos in a fight. It's a 5v4 with a mines kill onto Hardy. I can imagine that's Lars just bowling through him. And again, overtime is where they thrive as Hypnos end up winning this fight. They've still got an upwards hill battle to climb. Scott, SRPeakCheck going to come back with pretty much 4 ults with Cloudy closing in on that shadow.
And they're about to do 1 billion damage, I'm pretty sure, if my math is correct, because they got both of these damage boosts in the support ultimates. You can see Cloudy stepping up. Lars needs to get so much work done here, just create a distraction. Both orbital rays down.
Orbital rays, they're crossing the beams right now, and already LP has managed to find 2. Not sure your life is going to last a moment longer there, Lars, just carrying in that mini health pack room. And there it is. There's where the push will end for Hypnos. Almost to that final corner of that third point. But SRPeakCheck, as unconventional as ever, Scott, with the teleports, they were eventually felled on the first point, but it really did feel like a slow demise for Hypnos. But honestly, considering how control went, you're pretty happy with this push.
You take those, honestly. Like, if you looked at the scoreboard right now of like the deaths, the kills to death ratio of both of these teams, Hypnos is definitely at a major deficit so far on their attacking half. So if you can get halfway through the 3rd checkpoint, you absolutely take those. And now it's about thinking, how do we stop these Symmetra teleporters from SRPeakCheck? You know they're going to play Reinhardt. You know they're going to play Symmetra. They're going to TP around to get themselves into a favorable position. How do you play around that? Seems like Lars is going to stick on the Wrecking Ball. Felt like he enjoyed the disruption. He was able to find a little bit of value onto the backline. I did like that, but I don't know how I feel about this Ashe anymore, Jack. Do you keep playing this Ashe? Because it feels like they're going to find a way to get on top of you, and it's going to be difficult to find that opportunity to shoot.
Hello there.
Okay. maybe I'm a little bit crazy.
Okay, let him cook.
But how about something, because you want to play something mobile, right? How about something like a soldier? Like,
Okay.
being able to just run, use your legs potentially to run away from Cloudy and the gang.
That's an interesting idea. Just keep it running. I don't hate it. You know, like we've seen the Ashe can find value. The Dynamites can be brutal against these teleporters. So maybe Maitreya can find a way to get some big value and damage. But you can see the way SRPeakCheck's already routing themselves around. They go down the left, teleport onto the right. That'll get them all the way into this back line. And you can see Nelizu. Sorry, I don't know how to get that pronunciation of the name, is trying to run on the Ana. Like, it's very difficult for them to find any space, and it's just a cat and mouse game. They're rotating around each other endlessly. Dynamite's not going to find value when the team's already split.
Yeah, that setting up with the Ashe is super tough. I mean, look, they're on the high ground currently, but of course Cloudy knows the tech to get up there, of course. And a teleport as well. That Ana is just getting dominated on the high ground. It's so rough when you don't run like very high mobility supports, or honestly any characters. You have to play unconventional picks to counter an unconventional strategy, right?
Yeah.
SRPeakCheck, teleport, Cloudy hops on the box and hops on the rocks and then pins them on high ground. There's a lot of people that are going to take that to their rank game, I can tell you that right now. And it just feels like you need to be more mobile. I think I like the Ana though, to be fair, against the Rhine, but oh, good pin.
Oh,
good
the stagger is just brutal.
Wow, okay. That lasted a lot longer than I thought it would. But yeah, it feels like you need to play a little bit more mobile here on the Ana as well. Although now, I guess, is a better point for you. You can play at such a far range as the support.
Yeah, and that's the ideal hope here for Team Hypnos. Maybe they can get their Ana set up in a further back position. They can get a lot of damage, but once again, we have another Symmetra teleporter. Oh, stick goes wide, so they will stay alive, but the cart is moving. You can see SRPeakCheck are like, hey, you're going to have to step up and stop this cart at some point if you're going to want to hold us here on the second point.
Also on the hands of Bones. I mean, Lars is already dead, mate.
Bones needs to
takes
come
him
up
out.
fresh.
Yeah, well, I mean, Bones has done it once. Can he do it again? Can he rise from the dead? Not sure. Well, there goes your other DPS. That's unfortunate. Matt Riera ends up going down, and that is a shatter on the high ground. An easy kill onto the Ana. And this is SRPeakCheck, I think, Scott, running away with this game, to say the very least.
It's so frustrating. Ah, no, not going to give you that one. Don't like that. No, don't like that one.
NBA just started, Scott. Had to get one. Had to get the dunk in there.
I'm not saying anything. You got to talk. I'm not following that.
I boomed him already. I have boomed Scott. It's been how long? It's been 43 minutes. He's already done. All right, Larson, Nano boost onto the point. They deploy Bob as well. They're trying to keep this alive, but it's going to be inevitable unless you can go on more kills like that. A big slam. Lars is out of shields right now, but receiving a lot of healing from his backline. Cloudy's still swinging, still trying to get it done, but they aren't dying. They aren't falling over just yet. Lars gets another re-grapple on the point. Ghost ends up going down 2 Bones. Maybe this is where they will make their stand. Cloudy eventually killed. That TP from Dan a little bit too late. That's our SRPeakCheck going for a reset.
It felt like desperation there from Hypnos. I wasn't sure if using all those ultimates was going to pay off, but they just found the right picks at the right time. And then now SRPeakCheck, this is where it gets really difficult. How many times have we seen holds on Blizzard World on the second point where exactly this happens? They get all the way to the end and then they just can't get that last little bit of meterage. So now SRPeakCheck, they're gonna have to find a way to route all the way around of Hypnos, not lose anyone. You can see it. Perfect play, teleporting into this right side, force Hypnos to readjust their positioning, and now they're pretty much back at the cart in a defensive position with all these Symmetra turrets coming out.
We'll see what Lars can do. No more mines, unfortunately. No ultimates at all, really, for Hypnos. They've got a pulse one coming up, but Lars super low again. Fully charged beam there from Danage, just holding that lamppost angle. There's SRPeakCheck coming up with a couple of ultimates of their own. Pulse one available, and look at the low health bar members right now of Hypnos. Looking pretty bad. Shadow lands, Ghost with 3 kills. I think that 4, in fact. Maybe a little 5K?
Ace.
Give it to him. Oh, it was in the way. We'll count that though. Ghost got slapped in the end. He would have got a 5K regardless. Team kill and the checkpoint for SRPeakCheck off the back of one Shadow.
You can just see Hypnos just didn't really have the tools to be able to stop Cloudy from just like walking at them and then just applying so much point pressure, and eventually they're the ones who's going to fall, and Ghost is just putting out so much damage. Okay, that's an overheat if I've ever seen one.
All right, here we go. Slamming the back line. I mean, that's how they did it last time as well, right? They used Nano, they used Mines, they used Bob. Without ultimates, this comp, especially against SRPeakCheck, does feel a little limp. Have to see a quick reset here from SRPeakCheck after losing 2, but 3 minutes, and you don't even need to get a cap.
Yeah, oh, waiting for the perfect moment. Just now.
Big slam. All right, well, anyway, I'm going to roll away now. No, he's going to bowl through people. Still has those mines, so if he gets in trouble. Taurus being quite annoying to deal with is the Wrecking Ball most of the time. Nanoball comes in, but here comes the Orbital Ray from SRPeakCheck. Now, Cloudy is someone to be feared. Ghost holding his own in the back line, happily to deal with the Tracer and the Wrecking Ball at the same time. Oh yeah, he's just that good. And that is going to be Liana going down for Hypnos as well. Luzu and Lars falling. I mean, again, a slow demise here from Hypnos. Cloudy is just holding M2, walking forward, and Ghost and Danade are shooting people.
Yeah, and then they use the Orbital Ray and the Bob trying to get anything done at the very last second, but it's desperation time. We got Lars coming back on the ball. He's going to take so much damage.
I mean, what can you do?
There's a symmetrical wall.
And the false bomb? I mean, come on. Adding insult to injury there, SRPeakCheck. They're going to clean up Hypnos. A 2-0 in this series, and what is quite a fun one so far. They managed to get it going all the way to third, just couldn't quite get that completion, and yeah, I mean, SRPeakCheck just doing SRPeakCheck things and running away with it.
Yeah, it's tale as old as time. When any team throws these like Reinhardt rush curveballs at a team, they just start doing anything they can. You can see Hypnos scrambling to find any solution that'll work. The Wrecking Ball kind of worked, but didn't find a ton of value. You can see that they're trying to play around the Ash, but the damage isn't really there. So Hypnos just kind of floundering, trying to find something that will stop this LH Cloudy and Symmetric duo that's just putting on so much pressure and enabling the rest of the team. But it feels like Ghost is the one doing the most damage in this lobby right now.
Yeah, seriously, I want to see the stats. That'd be kind of handy, actually. Surely it's the bat that's doing the most. I mean, Daned a lot of the time is like fully charged off of the Wrecking Ball, but Ghost is laying down some insane fire. We know he's super good at the BAP, and it's just in his home here, just chilling. And BAP, with the Judo, it's a lot of healing, but it's also a whole lot of damage. You pointed out on Control, Scott, like, Ghost can pretty much just free fire and let the Juno do most of the healing. Like, yeah. You're so free as the BAP in this comp.
Yeah, I'm sure when Ghost saw Juno come out, they were like, oh yeah, my time is now. Because like this is where DPS Baptiste is going to be at their finest, right? The healing is there if you need it, but you don't have to rely on it. And Baptiste, if you're just able to free fire, you're pretty much a DPS, right? Like the Baptiste gun is very effective and does a lot of damage, and you're seeing it right here. And LH Cardi is really the one who's reaping the benefits of the most. You see him just playing unbelievably aggressive, and as soon as he gets in trouble, puts the shield up. If they overcommit onto him, then the lamp goes down, and then Ghost is able to get a 4K just like that one.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. I love seeing DPS players complain about BAP's damage. I'm like, bro, I'm just shooting like you are, man. What? I'm not gonna.
It's like every DPS player is like, yeah, I play support sometimes, and then they just play Baptiste and only do damage.
They only shoot double the damage of their healing output. Well, speaking of which, is the stats from the last map there. 46 deaths, by the way, is a crazy number considering we didn't get extra rounds versus 26 from SRPeakCheck.
Yeah, and that just goes to show, I talked about it, even though that map was close at certain points and the objectives, they both did get to the third point, the scoreboard and the kill to death ratios don't really sort of highlight that kind of factor, like how much SRPeakCheck really feel in control of this this match so far. And it really is just big plays based around the symmetric teleporters. Every time they get into trouble and we're like, oh, how are they going to get back from this? How are they going to be able to close the distance? They have a route planned for absolutely everything, and that just shows the experience on the composition.
Well, we're going to jump to a quick break. We'll see if Hypnos can come up with something special to try and counteract the Rhyme. But honestly, at this point, it's not looking likely. We'll be right back just after this. All right, welcome back. Here is the map pool on your screens right now. Control and Hybrid, obviously, you've already picked. It's up to Hypnos to choose where we go next. Escort push or Clash/Flashpoint.
Yeah, and we sort of talked about the map pool last time we had a map selection. It's difficult to find a solution to the problem because they are so well versed. So maybe at this point, if you're Hypnos, just go to something you like playing. I don't mind the Rialto pick. I think this can have very long sightlines. I think they can make it work, but SRPeakCheck has already shown it's not an issue for them.
Yeah, no way. Absolutely no way. I mean, Rialto, how good is the Rhine here? I don't think it matters. Gotta be honest with you.
Yeah.
Maybe some Widow action actually would be good. Although saying that, it's like, Widow has really good sightlines, especially on like first. But if you're SRPeakCheck and you see a Widow, it's like, okay, we just go round like the mega health pack,
yeah,
and then we just TP onto the back line, and the Widow's got nothing, and then we just kill her. So
yeah, it just feels like you don't have, as much as it's long distance, you don't have as much opportunity to shoot as you usually would like, just because of the Symmetra. So I'd be happy to see them not go for the Widow, but you know, at this point, anything can work, anything can help. Even just playing the Widow could potentially cause SRPeakCheck to play in a different way, forcing them to, you know, adjust how they want to. Looks like LH Cloudy and SRPeakCheck are going to go for a spawn hold here. This is pretty rare because of how valuable the high ground is at that back corner, but if you're Cloudy and you can hold these doors a little bit, slow them down, I don't hate the decision. That flag is not there on their screens, just in case you thought he was cheating.
Yeah, that's a low detail difference. Me playing on a low detail since the dawn of time. Oh, good kill onto Bones.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
Bones is, oh, no, please,
No.
no. Oh, okay. Got him. All good. Didn't install on the tracer, though, sadly. Ghost picks him up.
And, you know, that's why some people go for spawn holds here. You know, you can get a little bit of time off the clock. It doesn't really cost you too much because of how quickly you can get back from spawn, but, you know, not a very effective spawn hold, at least so far. Some great shots there from Atreya. Goes over to the Ashe now, recognizing, pretty much agreeing with what we were saying earlier. Difficult to play the Widowmaker in this situation because of how quick they're playing. Like, Donut's already back on the cart.
Yeah, TP is so good. Speedering, then TP out of spawn, like, it's just so quick. All right, here we go. TP onto the high ground. Nice little sleep there, but instantly woken up, and Cloudy and Dana just giving him the business right now. Still small trades. Backline for SRPeakCheck has been dominated, but Cloudy still remains.
Cloudy always remains. Run from it, hide from it. Cloudy will always remain playing Reinhardt to this day. And he's just, it's just so frustrating. Honestly, I feel frustrated for Hypnos with all being in games like these where it's just like, how do we solve this problem? You see Lars going back over to the Winston now, trying to, you know, create some backline threat, put some pressure on. But it feels like as soon as the backline for Hypnos steps up, there's a TP in their face and they just can't get any opportunity to just do anything. Pulse bomb goes wide.
Yeah, took a wide there. Did damage to the teleport, I suppose. You know, you got to take something out of that. Not much, but... Alright, Dana's pretty low. Good nade there. Lucio ends up picking up one. Alright, Dana down, so... Teleporter not available for SRPeakCheck. Get an Ana boost from Lars as well with this Primal Raise. Should be an easy cleanup in the backline, especially as you're not dealing with Cloudy, who's permanently holding the points. There it is, a little team kill. Or a delayed one, as Dana just spawns, but with a minute and 40, should be enough time for SRPeakCheck to re-engage.
Yeah, great play by Cloudy there. Just holds off the cart for a little bit, giving his team more opportunities to respawn, so they should be able to get into this fight. Donut's under pressure, sorry, very early, but he switches over to the Widow, instantly takes out the Ashe, and this push is pretty much coming to an end at this point. Is Lars going to try and commit this with the Primal? No, I think's better of it with how far back that backline is playing.
Yeah, you have to, like, commit the double jump instantly. It's a tough ask, I think, for Lars right now. Only
and now Fee is just sitting there on the Widow. Like, look at how far back Fee is just holding this long sideline. And Lars is going to try and go the long way. It's going to take so long to get into position.
But I mean, Pi sat there with both supports right next to him as well.
Yeah.
So,
early Primal.
1 HP. You know he has Primal, and they're back in spawn. So they just retreat to spawn. Well, here comes the orbital raise on the points. Lars just rejoined the rest of the team. Hammer hits the ground. That's one on their back. Lars says them getting stunned there, but Cloudy quickly dealt with by Bones. Bob's going to come in as well as that window as Ghost takes a very aggressive angle, even throws the lamp.
Lamp?
Not straight on top of himself. Okay, yeah, it was a bait. It was a little bait. All good. Unfortunately though for Darnet, he's bright purple there, that anti-heal coming through yet again. Quite clutch for Hypnos so far, with 20 seconds to go. Cloudy is back onto the point, and wow, actually killed the backline of Hypnos. There's no way they survived that. Okay, Bones at the very end. They managed to kill Cloudy with 1 HP. That would have been, I mean, we've had a few mental breaking games recently, Scott, in EU, and that definitely would have been one of them if they managed to hold that.
Not even close. Exactly how they drew it up, Jack. Don't care. Honestly, you know, props needs to go to Lars. I was questioning whether or not that Winston play was going to work, but he kept the backline of SRPeakCheck in spawn for so long that isolated the rest of the team, and Hypnos was just able to capitalize enough to be able to get that. And now, all of a sudden, the car wash is under this archway. As you can see, all the teleporters, all the turrets are set up over here. How are Hypnos going to attack into this one? Aren't already down. Retriever does return onto the Tracer.
Another good pulse bomb from Bones, too. He's really been the standout so far for Hypnos, landing very, very clutch pulses. Lars going down to the microwave sal, or the car wash, whatever you want to call it. Minute 45 to go. It's going to be tough ask to push through here, especially as Ghost is frontlining, as Bap just dealing as much damage as Bones is right now. But Five does end up falling again. Matriera ends up coming up with a big headshot. Okay, 5v4 on the point, but Cloudy is just perma holding this. Bubble does end up coming down, separating Cloudy from the rest of the team. Matriera doesn't end up getting the headshot onto the teleporting Sim, but here comes the nano boost. It's kind of what started the fight off before, but
no way Ghost lives.
Attempting to get away. No, not quite. Lars ends up securing the kill on the map, and here we go. Matriera once more taking down the enemy Tracer. There's a Hypnos getting it going again. 1 minute to go, however.
Yeah,
still
Bones.
losing people, by the way, to Danet's turret. They're still losing to Danet's turret. Like,
Danet wins these, I think. He's
yeah,
in a
he
really
does, 100%. You can just hold this corner. I mean,
never mind, he's dead.
No, he's not. Cloudy's back. I mean, that's an absurd hold. Turret's actually doing the heavy lifting there.
So unfortunate for Bones to die. Solo shatter.
Oh, that's final fight, Scott. There's 40 seconds. There's sights. Oh, Matriera, like 7k DPI looking around as the winner-maker there. Playing on
They
the
gotta be
smallest
careful about
possible.
staggering.
30 seconds remaining.
They know Bones is stuck in this room as well. Yeah, they take out Bones as well. Now, Cloudy says, I'm gonna keep going. Lars has to disengage. Bubble down, and now 19 seconds to get back onto this point. SRPeakCheck as well. They're gonna have 4 ultimates to answer this as well. Fortunately for Hypnos, they have a few in the bank.
I mean, PeakCheck are just coming up clutch, like over and over and over again. Good anti, land deployed. Ghost and Ilpi are chilling. They got support ults. This is such a nice spot to use it as well. Backline for Hypnos here, just trying to stay alive for as long as possible. Another clutch pulse bomb stick there from Bones, but Matriera will end up falling over. Lars with the primal rage, moving Cloudy around away from the heals, even putting that bubble down as well to secure that kill. The microwave's doing a lot of work here. Danet 2, but the healing coming through from that anti-nade is going to be enough. Again, another OT push for Hypnos. SRPeakCheck, not sure they're going to be able to come back. Those support ultimates and what felt like a guaranteed fight win there from SRPeakCheck has been thwarted by Hypnos.
Dude, Hypnos in overtime is just a completely different beast. They're so good when their backs are against the wall, and it's primarily Bones, let's be honest. Bones is finding opening picks onto the support line early on into these fights, and now SRPeakCheck find themselves on the 3rd point once again, even though it feels like they've been firmly in the lead in this map.
Oh, there's the nano boost where they've already lost one. This dive power is cut in half pretty much as Bones has been executed there by a Ghost. Vanderberg having to get out and just chase down as soon as that nano wears off. 60 seconds to go, and Cloudy is putting towards the spawn.
Ghost getting picks again. Let's see how close to spawn they want to play. Are they going to try and hold this close corner? Yeah, set up the teleporter here so if LH Cloudy gets into trouble, he can TP out. Never mind. They're going to think better of it. Just back up a little bit. I have been enjoying the Lars Winston. I think it's difficult. He's kind of dependent on having the nano boost and the primal, but he's able to create so much space and split off the rest of the team. That's enabled Bones to be able to find these picks.
All right, Bones is nearing this pulse bomb. Okay, here we go. That's been the win condition a lot of the time, to be fair. But Cloudy's almost got shatter, so that's a miss sleep. Oh, that Ana's dead. As soon as you throw that sleep out, Cloudy hears it, and it's over for you. They are pinning straight towards you. I mean, they're doing a trading backliners here, but with only 5 seconds to go, Fi's just got free reign right now. An SRPeakCheck, they're gonna hold. Lars couldn't even get that final touch. Just up that little ramp too. What an awkward place to hold, actually. If Hypnos don't manage to, well, if they end up losing that second point, of course. Very, very strange place for the payload to finish.
Yeah, realistically here, if you're Hypnos, you can't let them get the second checkpoint. If they get the second checkpoint, it's going to be very difficult to be able to stop them from getting the cart to this point. So, you know, pretty much the same as Blizzard World. Same thing again, Hypnos really not being in favor throughout the entirety of the map, but able to find a couple of clutch fights in overtimes, and now they have to hold it in the middle of the third. So the question becomes, do you stick with the Winston? Did that work the way you wanted to? I feel like that has to be the best option here, Jack. Play the Winston, keep trying to get Lars in the right positions to be able to do damage and make himself a threat.
Yeah, still going with it. I mean, the dives have been super clean, to be fair, especially with Bones' his pulse bombs. The attach rate has been rather high over the last couple of maps.
The other thing that I think they need to try and think of here for Hypnos is try and find a way to keep Neliozu alive. Because it feels like Neliozu, every time they step up, or every time they at least reveal their head, you're just getting run at by the Reinhardt, and that's such a difficult fight to win. So if they can find a way to get Neliozu into the right position and stop SRPeakCheck from being able to close that distance, that could be a very easy first or second point hold here. Rialto was a infamously very difficult map to capture and get through the first and second checkpoints.
Okay, if it couldn't get any more awkward to fight, they bring out the Mei. Yeah, good luck fighting into this if you're Winston Tracer. Like, there's just no way. Gonna be a miracle.
It's just a great adjustment here from SRPeakCheck as well, recognizing if we play the Mei, like, they can't really take down any of us at any point here with the Mei. And then if you see Lars step in, they will just wall up the Winston every time the Winston steps up.
Yeah, Lars kind of relying on dropping on them and then using the lead to get away. Can't make any like crazy proactive engagement.
I like this play from
loop around. But yeah, Hypnos are kind of they're staying out of their harm's way for the time being, just juggling the payload.
Yeah, they have a great contest, and they're gonna find picks eventually. Ghost is getting very low. Lamp does fall, but so far no one's been able to find a pick. SRPeakCheck is so low.
The turrets. Oh, what a fire strike from Cloudy. Thanks, Garrett. Everybody was like bundled up in that small corner, and Neliozu was like, please, please don't let that fire strike hit me. Well, 2 minutes to go. Dude, it's just so tough. Like, what do you do as Hypnos here against this comp? Especially holding a point like this as well. Luck.
That was pretty much the best case scenario for them of how they drew out that fight, how they juggled aggro, and they pretty much had it until that final fire strike just got them over the edge. Huge pick from Bolsa. Taking down Ilpi. That should at least put a stop to this push, and that's what they needed in this moment.
All right, pulse one from Bones. Hits the floor, but gets the kill anyway. Okay, yeah. Just take care of one of the backlines. It's pretty easy. I guess it's going to be nicer for Matriera as well on the Ashe, especially as if they hold back on the bridge. It depends how SRPeakCheck actually kind of assault that, because ideally you just want to teleport on the Ashe and insta-killer. And we just see Fi switching over to the Tracer too, so not happy with the Mei pick apparently.
I feel like with the way the Hypnos are playing this with the Winston, it was very difficult for them to find value of the walls. So I actually really like this Tracer pick, and now they're already on the backline once again. Oh my.
Well, there's the pin, there's the kill. Cloudy laying down the hammer of the law on to the backline. However, Hypnos still coming up with trades. Support's dead, yeah, for SRPeakCheck. So with Volta being alive here from Hypnos, should be a fairly easy fight win. Unless they go down. Okay, well, actually, Cloudy ends up forcing an ultimate out of Lars, which they're going to be happy with. A minute and 20 seconds to go.
Yeah, and as you said, Primal does get forced out for Lars, which feels bad if you're Hypnos, but you have the nano boost that you can put on Lars again. You have a bulk from Matrera. There are the options here for SRPeakCheck to be able to get into this fight. So 1 minute remaining. This pretty much is final fight territory. SRPeakCheck do have the ultimates to be able to fight this, but can Hypnos disrupt them enough? Make them feel uncomfortable so they're not going to be able to get the value that they would usually want. Wall onto the cart, give them a little bit of space. Oh, the nano on the way out.
To deal with, yeah, and a nano on the way out. Lars is out of that fight, but straight back in. Bob instantly killed. How long did Bob survive there? Like 0.1 second? Like, that was an absurd amount of damage. Everybody looking at the bomb there as soon as that orbital laser came down. Ultima on the ground. And again, it does secure something. It's only the lamp this time. 3 minutes to go. SRPeakCheck with that phenomenal wall just run over Hypnos.
Yeah, and a little bit of miscommunication there. Lars jumps out as he gets the nano boost, and that was pretty much their most important tool to be able to force the SRPeakCheck and at least do a little damage, force some more ultimates, but unfortunately wasn't enough. And now you can see LH Cloudy once again becoming the doorman, holding up this high ground, not allowing Hypnos to get in, and Lars is going to take a different way around, sets up the body block. Very smart play, but
oh, for the lamp.
Call an ambulance, but not for me.
Yeah, Lamb came out, saved Cloudy, and it's like, okay, I've body blocked the Rhine. Oh wait, I'm body blocked.
Oh, Cloudy's alive as well, and the cart's moving this entire time, so SRPeakCheck is going to get the cart very quickly, and they keep getting more picks. He gets Bolster. Oh no. And now, as you can see, what do you do here, Shadow? Oh, brutal.
Yeesh. Okay, well, you do end up saving the Ash, and Cloudy does get anti. It's a really high value nade there, but Fly's still there with the cleanup. Minute 50 seconds to go now. Bones on the points. Actually getting forced to recall by Ghost, who ends up taking him out anyway. Dude's just such a crack shot. And well, Scott, this might just be the end of the map and end of the series too. SRPeakCheck now moving this payload on. Fire with a spawn pulse bomb. Don't see one of those every day. But holding this point at this awkward angle is going to be tough, especially when Ghost has this high ground advantage with the window. And it is only a matter of time, I fear. Lars going down to 97% on the Primal Rage. And down into infantry, Ghost just let the Genji die to the turrets. SRPeakCheck on what was quite an entertaining series ended up coming out with the win. A 3-0 affair here to move on. Now they'll face Oblivioni with a chance to go to the main event.
Yeah, and hey, Jack, you were the one who was saying, I want to see SRPeakCheck. I want to see them against Falcons. I want to see the Reinhardt, you know, show the Asian region what's up. But honestly, SRPeakCheck, this is a team just classic. Danny's excited. He saw the Reinhardt that he wanted to see, and it worked. Danny's popping off.
Let's go, Cloudy. Let's go, Cloudy. That's what I'm saying. You know, Jack was like, you know, no, Ryan's not really that good right now. No, Cloudy proves you wrong.
Yeah,
Hey, it could happen.
take this L.
For now. Moving forward, we'll have to see. But for this one, hey, it was Ryan, Cloudy, and his team. I mean, I think it was a very dominant performance. I do have to say it was very interesting to see how Hypnos every overtime, I think from Blizzard World and then onwards, they're somehow trying to move forward, but it wasn't enough for SRPeakCheck.
Yeah, they were really clutch, actually, to be fair. I think that's a good thing to call out. Like, their clutch factors, it is there. It goes pretty crazy. You know, Bones on the Tracer looked really good, but I mean, it's an SRPeakCheck world, and it's a LH Cloudy Rhine world that we're living in currently.
This is the worst timeline by the sounds of it. But honestly, it's cool to see diversity. You know, that's one of the coolest things about how the OWCS format works. You know, we get to see so many different teams do so many different things, and it's so creative, right? Like the Junkrat tire through the teleporter, that's like a meme strat that is very difficult to coordinate and get a triple kill, but they just make it look easy, and they did it time and time again.
That Tiger was so funny. Bones was like, I found the Junkrat, and the tire's right in front of him, like, oh, okay, I'm just dead, I guess. Unlucky.
Yeah, and also, I mean, I think this was where, talking about Junkrat, I think he also did a solo ult onto the Pharah as well. That was also very entertaining.
So silly, man.
I think it's I think this match in overall was really entertaining for me, because we got to see a lot of different looks from both of the teams. But also, it's just, I think it was a 3-0, but at the same time,
it was an entertaining 3-0.
Yeah, it was an entertaining 3-0.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's not every day you see the Rhine strat like that kind of work out. And when it works, it really works, right? And you can, well, here's Bones actually. Let's change the topic real quick. Bones really was the standout player, I think, for Hypnos. The pulse bombs were just so good. And even though Lars was just getting perma-bullied by the entirety of SRPeakCheck, Bones was able to use the small space that Lars created and managed to get really important opening kills.
Yeah, and that's what you need from your Tracer player, right? And it did give them the windows. Maybe it's Bones with the overtime buff, but it's so difficult because you need to play so perfectly and so well for such a long period of time because, you saw SRPeakCheck, they're putting on so much pressure. Like, you need to get early picks, and it's just, there's so much healing, so many lamps, and we finally get the damage numbers, of course.
36 to 25, yeah.
Of course.
The third DPS player of SRPeakCheck.
Yeah, actually, that is an insane amount of damage.
Oh my god.
Like, ridiculous. Over 3 maps, and
That's
then the healing
12K
done as well.
damage per map on average throughout the entirety of this series. Like, that's an insane amount of damage for a support character, and like, it's really cool seeing Baptiste really sort of be used in a different way than he's always been used in the Brawl, because in the past he was just used for that healing output, right? These lamps and stuff like that, but now he's really given the freedom to just pump damage because Juno can be the primary worrier of how the rest of the team is feeling and can sort of fill in that healing needs that Baptiste used to do.
I think Ghost just like being the third DPS player and his like aggressive play style, I think really shined in this match. I think it was well deserved. I think player of the match for Ghost.
Yeah, easily.
100%.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Bap's so fun to play as well in these comps. Like, you can just play DPS. I mean, Scott said it as well. Like, Juno, you can just let her heal, bro. Just all good. You can just do that. I'll just do the damage.
PSA, you should still heal as a Baptiste. Just letting everyone know, hey, still heal as Baptiste, PSA.
Hey, honestly though, if you're like Ghost and if you could just kill people faster, that might work too, right?
That's true. You don't need to heal if you're killing people.
Just be Ghost.
Yeah, just be like Ghost, Try it in your rank games. Don't blame me. Sure, why not? Your teammates might hate you, but hey, if you get the kills, you look like a god.